Hello beautiful beings, and welcome back to another video on the Ascension Diaries social medias. I'm here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I am coming to you today to share with you a technique that I sort of just went ahead and tried yesterday with a oracle deck that I really like called the Keepers of the Light. And I love this deck because it has a lot of characters in it. It's entirely characters, entirely people. They all have their own thing going on, you know? They have their own characteristics, they have their own histories, they have their own lore. Most of them, I'm sure you can look them up online and learn a lot more about them. And so that's what I decided to do. And I wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of us could be feeling a little lost sometimes about why they feel so powerful and why they feel so all-knowing and ancient and so on, but who are they? Who were they? What are they doing? And I've had these questions about myself lots of times, but I've been like, well, I'm here now and I'm doing it and whatever, I'm just doing what I gotta do. But yesterday in the 4-4 meditation, I felt very strongly that this is what I was wanting to look further into, because I've been getting a lot of intuitive hits about certain symbols and certain things in my life constantly, over and over and over. And I'm like, okay, what does this mean? Why is it relevant to me? I don't understand. So I took it upon myself to shuffle the cards with my own name, just asking Source if, you know, I could get some insight, or who in this deck represents me or is closest to me that could offer me some insight. And so I received one card last night and one card this morning, and I think both of these cards for myself personally are very intriguing. So I will use myself as the guinea pig right now and share with you what I received for myself, but I'm hoping to hear what sort of characters and beings that you resonate with or have been recently, or you've been seeing them everywhere and you're like, why do I keep seeing Shiva, or why do I keep seeing the Holy Spirit or Jesus or so on? This deck is full of those beings, like seriously, all across the board. There's so many, so that's why I love it so much. And I thought this was going to be a good variety because I've received lots of contact and synchronicities with lots of beings through my life. So I was just wondering, what right now, who am I resonating with, what's going on? So last night I got the goddess, the Roman goddess Diana, which made Jace instantly think of Princess Diana, which I thought was super cool because my father actually met her once. He was a security guard at an event, and they had a small conversation, you know, in between her moving from one location to another. And he's like, you know, you really remind me of her. And I was like, that's really beautiful. I will take that as a major compliment because I know Princess Diana is very much beloved. But in the Roman, you know, mythology, I should say, I looked it up. The Greek god, or sorry, the Roman goddess of Diana, she is the one who has the bow and arrow. She has incredible focus and intention. She also prefers to be in the wilderness, and she's usually depicted with dogs, hunting dogs, and with deer, or, you know, a stag, or so on, which for me makes a lot of sense. My last name is Buck. The stag has followed me around my whole life. I've also had dogs around me my whole life, and I really honestly would choose bow and arrow as my option, and I have in my own mind a few times. I'm like shooting bows and arrows at whatever's going on. So I thought that was really cool. And also, when you go into the Greek mythology, because it seems like there was the, you know, the Roman names for these gods, and then there was Greek, and then the stories kind of got, they evolved and evolved further. So in the Greek, she is the twin sister of Apollo, who is my dog. So I thought that was really cool. Her name is Artemis. So I got that being, and she also has the moon on her head. She carries the moon. She's also the goddess of the moon, which again, like if you've been watching my videos, the moon has been coming up a lot, and I'm like, why the moon? So again, seeing this, I was like, wow, that looks just like Shiva, because Shiva also wears the moon. And I just had a lovely conversation with one of the people I know through Instagram about the story of the moon in Hindu mythology, or Hindu religion, and basically the moon character was cursed because he preferred one of his 27 wives over the others, and the father-in-law basically was like, well, that's not good enough and I'm cursing you to basically be diminished. And so Brahma basically told the moon to pray to Shiva, and Shiva came and put the moon in his little on his hair and like pinned it into his hair as like a way to say that you're protecting the moon. And he partially removed the curse, so that's why the moon is supposed to go from new moon to full moon, instead of just being a full moon all the time. So there was that story, and that information came through. So I thought that was cool, and I wanted to share that with you. And then this morning, I received Lady Venus. As, again, I said the same thing. I pulled the card. Before I was even done shuffling, Lady Venus came out. And again, like I mentioned before, I have a very strong affinity and connection to the planet Venus and the beings there and so on. And I'm not really 100% sure why. I know a lot of us starseeds out there will say that they have a connection to certain areas and they feel really strongly. Some people are like 100% certain. I've never felt that 100% certainty, but I feel the most comfortable with allowing the possibility that I have a Venetian connection, a strong one, because it's come to me in dreams and so on. So this is very cool. Lady Venus is basically supposed to be the leader of Venus, and her counterpart was supposed to actually have come here to help lift the vibration of Earth. So they're separated, and so she's taking care of she's taking care of Venus and he's taking care of Earth in a way, which I thought was pretty cool. And this card specifically was like, downloads and understanding, truth is being revealed, deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realms. So it's very cool. It seems like, yes, I am receiving this information. I'm seeing all of the synchronicities and so on. Obviously, Venus just transited through the Pleiadian constellation just the other night, and I gazed upon it and enjoyed that moment. And so it seems that the moon and Venus are still coming through strong. But this is just, I hope that this was a good example and these little tidbits of information were maybe helpful, because I know if you're following my work, it's very likely that you have a soul level resonation with me, which means you maybe are having these same synchronicities and you are connected to these same things, these same themes, these same energies. So I thought I'd share that with all of you. And I'm looking forward to hearing all of the beings. Like Shiva again was another one that's come up many times for me. So, you know, certain ones will come up over and over, and this was just a technique I thought of to help get some clarity on that. So I hope that was entertaining. I'm glad to share some light with you. Beautiful sunny day again here. And we did have a huge Schumann blast through the 4-4 portal, like April 4th into the 5th, which was expected from the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, and lots of energy coming in. That mass meditation worked. I'm hoping to do a video about that, a more like scientific video for those of you on YouTube to see if you refuse to follow me on other social medias. But yeah, it's a big deal, and I'm happy, and it went well, and I got this out of it personally, so I'm curious to see what you all got out of it too. I can't wait to read your comments, truly, honestly. I'm very excited. So, until next video, I will see you all again very soon. Goodbye, everybody.